Sighthill, up until the 60s, was one of the most polluted parts of Glasgow. On one side there was the Pinkston power station, a coal power plant that produced huge amounts of pollution for 75 years, but even worse, next door was a chemical plant that dumped toxic waste in the Pinkston bog for 164 years and had multiple chimneys putting toxic gases into the air. In 1800, Charles Tennant founded St Rollox Chemical Works. Its primary job was to make bleaching powder, but by 1815 it had began working with metals and even explosives. By the 1830s, St Rollox was the largest chemical plant in the world, with a floor space of 250,000 square feet. In 1942, a giant chimney was built at the plant, bigger than anything ever built in Glasgow at the time. It became sort of a landmark, and it was gigantic at 435 feet tall. For comparison, Red Road's tallest part was 292 feet. When it was built, it was the largest industrial chimney in the world and held the record for 17 years before another smokestack in Glasgow took the record. Despite the business becoming one of the largest in the world, Charles Tennant didn't actually see the Tennant stock become the tallest chimney in the world. He died at his home on the 1st of October, 1838. His business continued to boom and even got involved with Alfred Nobel, the inventor of dynamite and the Nobel Prize. The business merged with 47 other chemical works in Scotland, Ireland and some parts of England to form the United Alkali Company in 1890. Things changed dramatically 100 years ago in 1922 when Tennant's stock was struck by lightning. Over the years it had lost its height, but it was still 90 feet tall in 1922. The task was given to 8 workers to remove the chimney brick by brick. Only 5 minutes before the end of their shift, the chimney collapsed. 8 people were still on top of it. The sudden collapse killed 4 people out of the 8. One of the workers at the top of the chimney managed to miss all the debris and somehow survived. The building was ruled as a danger and they loaded it up with explosives. Instead of trying to recover them, they decided to leave 3 of the bodies in the rubble where they detonated the explosives. United Alkali Company merged again in 1926 with 3 other brands including Nobel Explosives to form Imperial Chemical Industries, which for most of its existence was the biggest industrial company in Britain. St Rollox use gradually declined. It was closed down in 1962. Some of the Sighthill flats were built directly on top of the former chemical plant. The chemical dump became known to the locals as Stinky Ocean. On certain days, it's still possible to smell the chemicals that were dumped there, despite nothing actually being dumped there since the 1960s, and most of it stopped being dumped 100 years ago. Now, with the new development costing millions of pounds, if they really want people to live there, something will be done about the smell. Thank you for watching the final episode of the Sighthill trilogy, and stay tuned for the next one, the next 2 episodes and season 2 when it comes out.